We talked about Sydney Sweeney, the conversation that dominated the internet when she refused to apologize to a woke freak for trying to say that her ad had anything to do with white supremacy or white genetics being superior. She refused to play the game. And as a result, there was a lot of people that were very, very mad at Sydney Sweeney, especially a lot of black people, a lot of retarded white people. All this stuff was out there after being gaslit by the media and by woke lunatics that Sydney Sweeney did anything wrong, which she did not. However, she does have a movie out in theaters. She had a movie out this weekend, and the people that hate Sydney Sweeney for refusing to go along with this narrative, they are very, very happy that her movie tanked at the box office. Sydney Sweeney breaks silence on one of the worst box office openings ever. And by one of the worst box office openings ever, what they mean is, I think in something that was released in 2,000 theaters over the weekend, it had one of the worst openings for any movies with that wide of release. Were you excited to watch a Sydney Sweeney movie in which she plays a female lesbian boxer who looks butch?
No. And I really wasn't excited to see her in Madam Web either. So, it's like, This was a movie to me that I'm like, I probably could catch on streaming down the line if I wanted to see it. So, not and for me, I didn't even, and they could have done this, I just maybe didn't see it. I didn't even see like other people in the profession like try to come out and promote a film like this film either, saying, "Oh man, you should watch this. This is part of our profession. It's a story that needs to be told," or anything. I didn't even see any of that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's a small movie, right? It's
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like it didn't.
But it undoubtedly failed, right? It undoubtedly did not do well at the box office. There's no fucking question about that. It had a terrible opening. I just got to be honest. I don't think that most people want to go see Sydney Sweeney in a movie like this when it comes to this type of content, when it comes to her looking like this. Just don't think that that is the case. However, it is so interesting in the same industry where we have flop after flop after flop after flop, and every time the mainstream media does everything they can to defend it, seems like the attitude's a little bit different for this movie specifically. Now, Sydney Sweeney has responded to this. I am so deeply proud of this movie. Proud of the film David made, proud of the story we told, proud to represent someone as strong and as resilient as Christy Martin. This experience has been one of the greatest honors of my life. The film stands for survival, courage, and hope. Through our campaigns, we've helped raise awareness for so many affected by domestic violence. We all signed on in this film with the belief that Christy's story could save lives. Thank you to everyone who saw, felt, and believed and will believe in this story for years to come. If Christy gave even one woman the courage to take her first step towards safety, then we've all have succeeded. So yes, I'm proud. Why? We don't always just make art for numbers. We make it for impact. And Christy has been the most impactful project of my life. Thank you, Christy. I love you. Now, certainly, you can be proud of the stuff you made, but also still want it to fucking make money.
Yeah.
However, this is the right way to respond when a movie doesn't go well. It's not to fucking lash out and blame everybody else. It's not to do anything like that. It's to say, you know what? I felt like we made a really good movie, and I hope people come to see it. It's disappointing that it might not have done this in the box office, but I really hope that people give it a chance. That's all you could say. That's all you should say, instead of blaming everyone that didn't go see it.
I agree. They also did that for Madam Web. Some of the stars came out and made jokes on Saturday Night Live about no one watching Madam Web. I don't know if it was Sydney Sweeney or the other main actress that came out, or like, "Hey, I was just in Madam Web." And they're like, "Yep, none of y'all saw it either." Kind of like a spin. So you're absolutely correct, man. It's just, you put something out there, you hope people enjoy it. You want it to do well. If it doesn't, you say, "Hey, man, I did my best, and we're gonna move on to the next project." That's all.
Yeah,
you can
and
hope for. That's all you can hope for in a YouTube video you put out. That's all you can hope for. Whatever, it's like, it's all you can hope for.
Yeah, and I will just say that I don't particularly care to see a movie about Sydney Sweeney that's about a fucking lesbian boxer being abused by her manager husband person, who then finds out she's gay, and like, it's just not the movie I care about, especially when Sydney Sweeney doesn't even look like Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of her fan base, I don't think that movie is very appealable to them in general. But people have certainly been very happy and touting this as hilarious that her movie flopped and all of this stuff. You've got some of her PR team, messaging people being like, hey, could you possibly include in this headline about it flopping that it does seem to have a good appeal to the audience that gave it a chance. I don't think you're giving it fair. I think that stuff looks a little bit fucking cringe. But in terms of Sydney Sweeney's response, that is the way you should handle financial failures. At least that's what I think, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree completely.
But even with the nice response, I still don't think it's a movie that I'm all that interested in seeing. Just saying.
No, exactly. I mean, that it wasn't a wide appeal for a lot of people to go and watch the film. I think maybe they were banking on it because it's her, and their Gene ad was so crazy that people would want to go see her on the big screen. But still, at the end of the day,
hold on. This movie was filmed far before the Gene ad.
No. I'm saying that they were thinking that because the Gene ad was so big that maybe that's why they put it in a lot more theaters than normal. You think that could have had something to do with it, or no?
Maybe.
She was just trending for like a year, so it's kind of like,
I mean, I think the reason it may have been, I think that 3 or 4 years ago, this is a movie that's released in 1,000 theaters.
Exactly.
But what's coming out right now? There's so little that's fucking coming out. Maybe one of the reasons it had a bigger release, but nobody's going to the movies.
Exactly.